Can you all hear me and see me? I'm just making sure that everything is okay, and I'm really nervous since this is my first live. Um, Let me see. Hi to everyone. Hi to Snežana, to Bata, to Lazar. Hi guys. And this is my friend. Hi guys. Oh my god, it's so nice. All right. So hi to this live. Hello, welcome everyone. I'm very happy that I'm hosting this live today, and I will. Hi, hello. I will try my best to present you this whole drawing and everything. Let me just see how I can see the chat at the same time. We can see you like we're watching Nokia. Why is the video bad? I hope not. Let's hope not. Let me see how I can see the chat at the same time. Okay, so this is my first and I'm still a bit sick. I apologize for that. I'm trying to see how I can see the chat while I'm doing the live. Let me see. All right. Hello to Bernard. Oh, I'm really happy that you're here. All right, so video is okay. Nicholas is saying that it's blurry. Is it still blurry? All right, so you need to make sure that the resolution is all right with you. So make sure to put it on the HD 1080. That's important. I'm still a bit sick. I apologize for my voice. I was sick for quite some time and I'm still a bit sick. My voice is a bit messy, but it's fine. All right, we can start with the drawing. So I'm not sure who is following, and I'm really happy if you are following. So make sure to get the reference photo. You have on the pinned comment, you have the downloadable reference and the sketch as well. So the scan sketch, if you want, you can, yeah, so Nicholas is saying that the video is alright when the resolution is higher. So that's important to make sure that the resolution is alright. And you have the scan sketch, so you can download it and print it out. And if you want, you can follow this video and follow this tutorial with me. And I'm having the the reference photo on my phone, so I think that we are good to go. If you have any questions in the meantime, feel free to let me know in the comment section. And we can definitely start. All right, so I'm just gonna I'm gonna use my black colored pencil for I'm just gonna use the black colored pencils for the pupil first. Even though her pupils are barely seen, like you cannot see the pupils properly, and her eyes are very, very dark. We are going to use the browns. We're gonna use the dark umber and the dark brown. So I always like to start with the eyes first, because the eyes are usually our guidance, like at least for me, how I want for the drawing to turn out. So I usually always go with the eyes first. My voice is quite low. I thought guys, can the other, like, can all of you hear me properly? Hi to Naomi. Congrats on your first live stream. Thank you, Naomi. I'm very excited and very nervous at the same time. And guys, please check her out. Like, she's amazing. She's an amazing artist, and I love her her videos. So please check Naomi out. She's also doing like so many live streams, and she's an amazing artist. So please check her out. My voice is simply a disaster. So I'm just using the browns for the iris, but the eyes are gonna turn out like very, very dark, because we're gonna mix our black one and we're gonna mix the brown one as well. Okay, so now it's good. The voice is, now you can hear me clearly. Oh my gosh, thank you. I wasn't expecting that. Of course, I love seeing your work, and I would really wish if you would have like even bigger audience and everything, because you are really, really amazing. And we all definitely should support each other so much more. So guys, if you're following this tutorial, make sure to kind of work a bit with the black and the brown at the same time, like make sure to layer it in between. I was so nervous for this live, honestly. Like, I was very nervous. And there are still a lot of things that needs to be fixed, like my lighting and the camera as well. Like, I still need to work on the camera settings, because at the moment I'm filming with my phone, which is not the ideal thing, but it is what it is. I still need to learn a lot. Like, I'm self-taught for basically everything and for this as well. So I will make sure to progress when it comes to these live streams and everything. Lighting is perfect. Oh my god, that's very good. That's actually very good because I was so worried. I worried a lot for the lighting and everything else. But yeah. Okay, so okay, it's important that you all guys are hearing me clearly. That's the best thing. I was scared that something will not work, and I had a bit of an issue in the beginning, but I solved it, so it's fine. I'm using the black as well for the upper part of her eye because her eye fold is not seen here, as you can see. But there are a lot of makeup as well, so we are just making sure that we are covering that makeup. And we're not going to be able to do everything just on this live stream because I think that colored pencils are a very slow medium, so it's impossible to finish one drawing in like an hour or two, but still we will do that. I think the day after tomorrow definitely is gonna be before Halloween. If you're following this, it would be very good to be before Halloween if you want to have this drawing done by the time that Halloween starts. So I'm just blocking the very dark parts, and there's gonna be the times when when you're working with colored pencils, it's most of the times they look like they don't make much sense, like the whole process and everything, but once you are done and once you connect everything, it would be like very nice. Thank you so much to Nicholas. He just said that he shared in a couple of Facebook groups, and I really appreciate that. Thank you so much. Guys, I really appreciate all of your support. Like, I never thought in my life that I will have like supporters like this and that people will like love my work, and I really, really do appreciate that so much. I will also try to simplify all of this as much as I can. Like, I'm really trying to simplify the drawing process and to make sure that like I don't use that many colors, and I don't want to overcomplicate this. I want to make it simple, especially if you're a beginner. So you can see that there are very dark parts here, so I'm just making sure that I'm covering like all the dark parts, and here there's a big shadow coming here, so we're gonna make that dark as well, but for now we're just gonna block the parts of her eye. I'm just gonna take the this is henna, just gonna block this inside part of the eye. so we know that it's there, so we can save it. Okay, I think it looks good for now. The live is working. I'm very happy. All right. What pencils do you use for art? I'm not sure, so I can order them to do some art with you. That is that is simply wonderful. I'm very happy that you want to order the colored pencils so you can work on your drawings with me. Like, that's amazing. I'm using the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils, and I think that they are the best, especially if you're a beginner. So I would definitely recommend that you get the Prismacolor Premier if you want to start drawing and everything. They're very good for the beginners. And I'm using the Strathmore Tone 10 paper. So that is also something that maybe you should get as well, because this paper is definitely amazing, and the colored pencils are looking very nicely here. Just gonna block the part where the iris is. To make that like very dark. And also here. What paper are you using? I'm using the Strathmore Tone 10. It's a lovely paper. Like, I love using this paper for all of my drawings. Hello to my sister. My sister is here. She is one of my biggest supporters. Complex Alley, thank you so much, and I really appreciate that so much. And I'm really excited for this drawing too. Like, I really wanted to do something that's supposed to be like Halloween something, and I thought, like, well, maybe I can just do it over live. And but then as the time was passing and I published this live and everything, I started to get like nervous, like, how is this gonna turn out while I'm drawing while people are watching me live. Like, this so it can be a bit strange in the beginning, but it's fine. Like, I'm honestly enjoying this now so much. I was scared that I would have some technical difficulties or something, but it turned out quite nicely. And now I'm using the 70% of warm gray for the inner part of her eye, like for this white part of the eye, because the white part of the eye, like when you're drawing, is never white. Like, it's never just white and that's it. And another thing that this paper is definitely good is because, like, you will see, like, if we were about to use like the white paper now, we wouldn't be able to get this good effect with all of this. Like, for example, this white part of the eye wouldn't be looking like this good, and you will see, like, once we finish it, it would look like very nice. And I'm using the 30% of warm gray as well for the inner part of the eye. I'm just gonna block this part. So this part, since this is the part where this part of the eye is going on top of this white part, so it's a bit darker. So we're gonna just make it dark. Thank you guys so much. I'm just trying to read all your comments now. Just a second. I love the reference. It's going to look so great when you're done. Thank you. Thank you so much, Naomi. I'm really excited for this drawing, and I truly hope that I will be able to make it proper and make it nice. Thank you to Complex Ali. I know I don't have to be nervous. There is no reason for me to be nervous, but I was always nervous when I was trying out like new stuff and new things, especially when it comes to art, and when I'm not familiar with programs and everything. I'm not sure how everything will turn out. So I was nervous mostly because of that, but like having you here, guys, now it's really helping me out to overcome that not stress, but that nervousness. Please make sketch tutorial. What color are you using? I'm using the Prismacolor Premier colored pencils. Sorry, is that 30%? Yes, it's oh, I didn't know that you're following. Sorry, it's a 30% of warm gray. Yes, sorry. And now we're using the white. And please make sketch tutorial. Definitely I will do one of those again. And I will do a tutorial on how to sketch things and basically how to sketch everything. And it's all about the proportions, and I think that all of you need to go through, like if you really want to learn how to draw and how to do sketches, like you need to go through some like basic stuff, like how you can, like the measurements and everything. And that part is when I was preparing for my college, like that was so boring for me. Like I was so stressing out because I didn't want to learn how to do that. Like I wanted to like just get some kind of a shortcut, but it's impossible to get a shortcut when it comes to that. So I think that all of you just need to go through some very basic stuff, like just learning and like how to measure and how to do like proportion. And once you learn that, like you would basically learn how to do anything and how to draw anything. Like it would be just very simple for you to just take your sketchbook and just draw up something. My voice is better. That is very nice. I thought that my voice would be better by the time that we start this live, but apparently like I'm still coughing a bit. But it's fine as long as you understand me. That's fine. I'm just using the black again, so I can just like darken this part a bit and make that a bit darker, and kind of just to connect it with this. Like this part is quite dark, so it's like I'm just gonna use the black for it, and then we're gonna work with the 70% of warm gray. I'll make it darker, and then the 30%. Then here as well, first you start with the 70%. You see, my voice goes off just like that. And then the 30%. It's so fun for me when I squeak, like while I speak. Like for the past 2 weeks, I was just like squeaking. I wasn't talking, like I was squeaking, and that was really fun for other people to hear as well. But my voice is going better, so that's definitely something that I'm very happy about. it was better than 2 weeks ago and 10 days ago, and it's definitely very nice to have your voice back. And let me see. So we can go back and forth with our pencils as well. Like if we see, like for example, I'm gonna leave this like this, and then after, if we are, what you use for the highlights, for these highlights here, or for the highlights in general? Um, you're a great art teacher. Oh my God, thank you so much for that. Like this is such a nice comment, and like this, guys, you're amazing. Like I couldn't be more grateful having all of you here, being that supportive, and you are leaving me speechless when you say such nice things like that. Like I'm really happy. Like that was my dream, to be able to reach as many people as I possibly can, and share my art and see like if I can contribute in any way, and like your artistic growth, like in any way. If you were about to pick like any of my advices, or if you can learn something from me, like that's my biggest goal in life. And hearing you um, commenting things like this, that I'm a great art teacher, like that's amazing for me. It's a dream come true for me, so I really appreciate that so much. For general, I'm using the Uniposca white gel pen for the highlights. Like this is this one, um, and it's a very nice one. Like it's a white Uniposca white gel pen. Like, and if you cannot find this one, you can basically search for any kind of white gel pen, and you will get such an amazing results with that. Like that's definitely such an amazing thing to have for the highlights. And we're going to use the highlights for the eyes, and you're going to see like in just a few a few steps, like you would be able to get such cool results when it comes to this. Okay. Thank you for replying. Thank you for asking. Like you can ask whatever you want, and I'm here to help when it comes to anything. Like if you have questions or thoughts, or basically anything you want to ask, feel free to ask here, and I will happily answer as always. I'm gonna use the dark umber for this down part a bit. And for these parts, like I know that they're not brown, but I just need to block some darker parts first, and we're gonna then work with the colors. You are more than welcome for everything. Okay. I just wanted to make that a bit darker first. Then I will use the 70% of warm gray, just a bit here. And here. Okay, it's looking good for now. I think I cannot watch the whole video because it's time for bed. Of course, we are in a different time zone, so I'm gonna leave this video definitely as one of my videos here, so you will be able to watch it anytime you wish after this live ends. What colors do you use for the skin? That's always something I struggle with. That depends, actually. I wanted to make a YouTube tutorial as well on it because um, every skin color is different, so there's always a challenge whenever you're using colored pencils. Um, I don't have the exact like colors that I would be able to suggest, like except maybe like the peach and light peach and the beige, the maybe rosy beige, clay rose. Like these are like some of the basic colors that I'm using, but there's always some extra colors. Like for example, I would add orange, or I would add like red, purple, something that can maybe change, like a lot of browns as well. It depends on the actual reference photo and how you are. It depends on definitely what you choose. Like for example, at the moment I have no idea what I will be using for this reference, but I will see like once I start working on her skin. Like I know that I will be using these all of the mentioned colors, and I would mostly use like a lot of browns because she is a bit darker. Like the lighting is darker, so for example her right side is much darker than her left side, so on the left side we will be using those like kind of peachy tones, but on the right side we will be using like more of the brownish ones. And it also depends how you are combining them in between. Like that's very important if you want to um, get good results. Like it would be the best if you could like start layering like bit by bit and step by step. Don't just like go into the like all of a sudden like you want to make a skin tone and you only use one color and you're finished. Like it needs to be like layered properly. I mean, for this we are just gonna be using some simple colors and we're not gonna be over complicating things. I will try and keep this as simple as possible. But yeah, definitely it really depends on that. And thank you so much. Your voice is sweet. Oh my god, thank you. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Um, but yeah, definitely. As for the colors, that definitely depends from the reference that you're using, and each and every reference, like I have no idea what exactly I will be using here. I'm using the sienna brown to kind of cover these parts, and I'll use a bit of sienna on the other part. This is my mother following my live as well. Thank you, Mom. I really appreciate that. My mother, she's a, like along with my sister, they're like the biggest supporters and the longest ones. Like they believed in me, like even when I was a kid. I was always drawing something, like, and my mother, she was always like buying me like the coloring books and colored pencils and like a lot of things. Like she really believed that I can actually do something. Exactly, I totally agree, Naomi. It depends on the lighting too, because that could add the colors into the skin also. Your portrait's always oh, thank you so much. It also depends on the lighting as well. As only in this photo, like her, because of the lighting, like this part is very light and this part is very dark. So it really depends on the lighting, the contrast, the skin tone, the reference photo. It has like a lot of different factors. So I wouldn't follow the tutorials like how to make the skin tone, and then you're just doing like all skin tones in the same way. Like I wouldn't recommend you in doing that. Like I would definitely recommend you to actually explore when it comes to these colors. So for example, if you want to make a drawing, like I'm looking at this and I'm seeing that like she has a lot of those peachy tones as well. But for example, if I want to make her face like in blue tones or in pink tones, like try experimenting with that. Like you will see, if you were following some of my videos and some of my drawings, like I don't follow the reference photo 100%. Like I always make something different because I like to experiment, and I don't like to hold on to that reference photo 100%. I'm using the 30% of warm gray for the inner part of her eye. But I like to experiment, and I don't like to be accurate when it comes to like the skin tones and everything else, like to make everything like I like to keep like, I don't know how to say that on in English exactly, but I really like to experiment and I like to try out new things, and I like to have kind of the possibility to experiment and possibility to explore and create some new things without being 100% tied up to a reference photo. Like I like to have kind of my own stamp, if you can say that, if you understand what I mean. So even if your drawing don't turn out exactly like I think I'm always saying that in all of my videos, but even if your drawing don't turn out exactly the same like on the reference photo, like it doesn't have to mean that it's bad. It can mean that it's like very great. It's just different. And that's the thing that I really like. I'm using the black for the inside part of her eye just to make it like even darker. So yeah, it doesn't mean that it's bad. It just means that it's different. And maybe it's even better than from the reference photo. You never know. Like it's just our own subjective way of seeing things. And I would really encourage you to try out new things and to try out different techniques and maybe explore when it comes to your style, and explore a bit more when it comes to your skills as well. And don't think that if like I'm using the black for these outside part of the iris, so it doesn't mean that if it's different it would be bad. So I would really like to encourage you to try out different things. Even here, if you want to change something, like even in my sketch, I think I changed a couple of things here. I think I changed her face a bit, and this one I think that she had a bit more of these like white parts here than like we drew here. So it doesn't always have to be the same. And I miss. Are you from Britain? No, no, unfortunately I'm not. I'm from Serbia. I am Serbian. And Mima, what is your nationality? It's Serbian. And Nina, thank you for your answer. You're welcome. You're more than welcome. Like feel free to ask me anything here. This is so nice to interact with you guys. Like this is really nice. I'm really enjoying this speaking to you. Like even though I cannot speak to you like in person, it's really incredible having you here. Like with all your questions and interacting. Even though it's like just over the comments, it's still, I like that a lot. I think I will definitely be able to do, like, I would want to do more of these lives. This is the first one and I'm really enjoying it. I wanted to say something and then I forgot. That usually is. That's happening to me, but I will remember, I think. So, Siberian? No, not Siberian. It's Serbian. I am from Serbia. It's, let me write it. Serbian. There you go. Your English is very good. Thank you. I was learning a lot of English when I was a kid. There was a very good reason why I learned English as a kid. Like, this is a very nice story. Um, yes, more live streams. I will definitely do more live streams. Thank you, Naomi, for the encouragement. I really appreciate that because, like, I was really nervous for this one. Um, there's a nice story why I learned English when I was a kid. Like, when I was a little girl, like, my mom and my dad, they had video club, and our video club were like, it was filled with a lot of like movies and with cartoons and everything. But I really loved watching cartoons, and most of the cartoons, like, they were on English and I wasn't able to understand them. And I was so stressed out because I couldn't understand them. And I really wanted to learn English. And I started learning when I was, I think, 4 or 5, because I really wanted to understand them. Like, while I'm watching that cartoon, I really wanted to understand them. So I started learning English like crazy so I can watch cartoons like as much as I can. So that's the main reason um, I actually learned English. But yeah, I'm always remembering that as something very nice. So once we got like the eyes, and I think that I will put a bit of more of this black because I just remember what I wanted to ask and what I wanted to tell you. Can you please write in the comment section down below, because I'm thinking about changing her hair color. So what do you think her hair color should be? As you already know, if you're following me on Instagram, like, I love playing with hair and I love playing with hair colors. So I would really like to know, like, if you think that we should change the actual hair color or not. So let me know in the comments. Livestream make it easy to understand. Definitely, I definitely agree with that. And it's easier to interact with all of you guys. I would just like blur a bit this transition between this white part of the eye and the actual eye. And also do a bit of black. Maybe your hair color suit the best. Maybe, I'm not sure. I was already doing things, like I was already doing a couple of portraits with the red, so I would like to avoid reds right now and to like kind of make it like even either the colorful, like to mix a couple of colors like the blue and the red and purple. Maybe purple and blue would go like good, and a bit of pink, like, and then we can like make her hair look a bit crazy. I'm not sure. I'm thinking about it still, and we are definitely gonna do her hair and in one of the other real-time, not real-time, the live streams, sorry, not real-time tutorials, the live streams. Maybe blue, yeah, definitely. I agree. Like, or turquoise. I think turquoise might be too nice, especially if you're adding the making makeup. Sorry, yes. Yeah, definitely that would be very nice because she already has like the green and turquoise, some bluish colors, and her hair, like her makeup is very nice. I think that we would go. I also think your hair color would fit well. Oh, thank you guys. I'm not sure because I was already doing a lot of red, and I would like to avoid the red at the moment and maybe change a bit into the blue and purple and pink. Tell me what do you think in the comment section. Like, I'm really interested to know like if maybe the blue and the purple would go well, like we can combine the colors and everything. So we can now do the highlights. So I'm just gonna use the Uni Posca and we're gonna make the highlights. You will see how the highlights are looking like just with one part and one dots and a couple of dots, like you are able to make a nice highlights. Half and half, one side blue on the, yeah, that I was also thinking about it, like to make it like, for example, this is gonna be purple, this is gonna be blue, or the other way around, or to make like the purple going into pink and the blue going into, for example, green, something like that. I'm thinking about that a lot. Wow, I can't type today. It's fine. I think that your that, how do you call it, autocorrect is working, so I think that that's because of that. Like, last favorite option, green. Okay, Nina is saying green. Well, maybe I was thinking about it like to go like from blue to green and from purple to pink, for example, and to have that kind of transition, or maybe from black to blue and from black to purple. What do you think about that as well? I think that's also nice. So we would add a couple of these highlights. I think that they're looking very nice, and I will do the same highlight, like even though she doesn't have the same highlight there, but I will do the same. You can follow the reference photo, of course, if you want, but I would just do the same highlight here. You can see how with just a couple of touches, like it's like you're making your eyes like to look very, very nice. I really like that. And we can leave the eyes now for a bit, and we can focus a bit more on this part here. So I'm gonna start with some of the darker tones first. So I'll use the dark brown, and I'll also use, let me see, some dark purple colors. I'm having a lot of colors here. Sometimes it's not that good. Like, I really wanted to have that 150 set of Prismacolor Premiere, but it's always, especially because I'm a Libra, I'm so indecisive. I cannot decide anything in life, and especially like if I should choose a color, it's so difficult for me to choose the color. And Halloween color for hair, Halloween color, that should be like black and orange. What do you think? Like black and orange. I actually like that. I don't know if we would be able to make good transition though, but I think we would. Like there would be involved a lot of browns then, but still we would be able to do it. Like, I'm so indecisive. I'm thinking about it, and like there are all some very good suggestions. Let me just see if I can find some purples first. So I'm gonna take some purples because we're gonna start from like this part. So I'm gonna tell you, like, as soon as I pick them out, what colors we'll be able, we're gonna use. Let me see. Black grape. Actually, I think that's nice. That's a very dark one, so it's good. Okay, we'll start with the black first. So we're gonna add the black here. We'll add some black. And then we'll use, let me see. Yeah, we'll use some dark purple. I like this color. I think it suits very nicely here. If you're using a more tone 10 paper, and if you're seeing these this texture, like, don't get intimidated by it. Like I always say, that it's actually a good thing. And I'm using the Parma Violet. So don't get discouraged, or don't get like too weird about it, and don't think, I'm using the Dahlia purple as well. Don't think that your drawing won't turn out good, because this is actually a good thing. It's actually allowing your colored pencils to be like mixed in between, and that is a very good thing. So make sure to, I'm gonna use the black grape again. Make sure to use it as your advantage and not disadvantage. Like, don't get discouraged for it. I'm using the black again. Or Billie Eilish green hair. Actually, I like that. I like that a lot. Like, that means that she should have like the green part here and the black here, which actually like, it makes sense. The green should also look very nice. I cannot decide, but it's a good thing that this would happen in another life, so I'm safer now, because I don't have to choose like right away. That this gives me time to actually think. Let's see, like, what would be, maybe if we work on her face first, and then I think that the colors would just like pop out by itself. I think, I hope. We're gonna make her makeup to look like a bit darker, so I'm gonna prefer that. I'm just using the this is that Parma Violet, so I can transfer it onto the other color, and I'm gonna use the non-photo blue for this part. I'll just kind of combine it in between. I'm gonna use some green tones. Let me see, we're gonna use the, actually prefer this one, the light green and the true green. I'm gonna use these two colors. So the light green first, just to limit those parts where her makeup is going to be. So for example, you can see that on her nose, like on her nose, like this is the part where her nose is not colored in this makeup, like the white makeup. So we're gonna change that. I don't want to have, I would change that part, like this is this part. So I would like to change that into the white as well. And don't, like, if you are working on this with me, don't think about these like details, like she has those, like, I'm not sure how to call that on English, like those white parts on her face. Like, I definitely don't know how to call that. Like, if you know how to call that, please do tell me in the comment section. But those small parts, like the beads, I think that they're called beads. Don't over stress when it comes to that. Like, I am not even thinking about that. Like, we're just gonna work on her face, and then after we're gonna work on the beads and everything else. So I'm not worrying about it, nor should you. Let me see, I need some darker blue. So again, I'm not sure, like, if you started drawing this with me or not. Like, if you want to start drawing this, you have the linked, you have the scan sketch and the reference photo, like, on the pinned comment that I made. So you can definitely download that and start drawing this with me anytime you want. And if you're following this right now, that's very cool. I'm gonna use the ultramarine for this. I'm just gonna make this down part a bit darker. So as you can see, I'm not following the reference photo like 100%. I'm just doing what I feel like in the moment, and I would really like to encourage you to do that as well, like to have that freedom of experimenting and trying out different things. And you can see that it's not looking like 100% the same as like we are having on the reference photo, but it doesn't mean that it's bad. Like, it's doesn't mean that it's bad looking. It's just we are creating something on by ourselves, which is actually very powerful and very nice. And maybe I should remove all of these colors on the side so you can actually see it. Whenever I'm drawing, I'm always fighting with the colors. Like, the colors are all over the paper. We're gonna combine it with the non-photo blue. It's gonna make some nice transition. And we are gonna work with our true green. So combine that as well with all the green colors. And the blue. We need to combine these two parts. Just checking if everything is, like, if you can see everything correctly and good. I'm gonna use the light green. But we're also gonna use a bit of a darker green. Let me see if I can just find some of the a bit darker green. These are all too dark. maybe this dark green, but we're gonna use it just a bit. Have to get going, but I will watch the rest later. Have a great day, everyone. You too, have a wonderful day, and thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate that, and enjoy the rest of the day. So we just put a bit of a dark green, and we're like working over it with this true green here, just combining. And we're also, like, at the same time, we're making this part a bit darker. I have this one small part that I would like to do. This inside part is like lighter a bit. So just get the lighter part here. Also make it a bit darker again here, just working in between the colors. And I'm using the true green to make this a bit darker. And I will use the light green. And combine it a bit with this blue as well. Like that. It's looking nice, like it's looking good on the camera so far. That's a good sign. We'll just continue this into this part. Pull it a bit more down. That. I'm gonna use a bit of this true green here. Combine it a bit in between, like this, with the white. Just to have that transition. I would also like, you see, I was worrying about if I would have a good video and audio and everything, but I forgot to use the kneaded eraser to make this sketch lighter. That's actually very important. So make sure to do this. If you didn't, make sure to do this before. This is very important if you don't want your sketch to be seen, like the lines and everything, because like once you make these lines, once you go over with the pencils, it would be basically impossible to work around them. So make sure to do that. I just put a small amount of this dark green so I can put the light green on top of it. So as you can see, we're trying to keep it simple. We're not using like a lot of colors. We're using a couple of colors for each and everything, like in every part. And again, like this is still something that is different. And I will use a bit of this dark green as well here. Because even though this is a makeup, this is still like the part where the nose and where the shades are going. So I prefer having a bit of darker tones here. And darker parts here as well. And then going over with the light green again, just to kind of blend everything out. How long will this be? Well, I'm not sure. I think that this is gonna be the first part of this tutorial, so it's gonna take maybe 2 hours of this live, and then the day after, like the day after tomorrow, we're gonna make another one, because while you're like when you're working with color pencils, it's really hard to get a good drawing in just like an hour or two. So we are gonna do a couple of lives for this drawing, but I'm sure that once we are done with this, like it's gonna be worth it. So we are gonna do a couple of lives for this, definitely. Okay. We're also gonna use, as I said, like I'm gonna do this part and this white part. I'm not gonna have her skin tone here. I'm gonna change that. I'm gonna leave that white part just so I can remember. Getting a good drawing in just a couple of hours with the colored pencils, they're taking so much time for the drawing to be finished, and it's a very time consuming medium, but at the same time we're going to use the yellowed orange for this part. It's very time consuming medium, but at the same time like you're going to be able to get like very nice results. If like you're willing to be patient enough for it. I'm gonna use a bit of like reds. Let's see, where are my reds? So I'm gonna use the Crimson Lake for this part here. I love your voice. Thank you so much. Oh my God, that's very nice. Like I'm always annoyed, like whenever I hear my voice, like if I'm like speaking something and then I feel myself, and like I always thought that my voice is annoying. So thank you so much. Like hearing this, it's really nice, because I'm not very happy with like how my voice is like sounds over the camera. I always think that I have like a weird voice. I'm using the Crimson Lake as well for this part here. Like I prefer having the red here, because we're having the red here, and then like the red and the orange and then the light orange. I think that would be a very nice transition. Like this part is very dark, so we're gonna make it like dark enough, but I prefer having these kinds of transitions even here. We are also gonna be needing the black. I need to get this like a bit darker, so we're using the black for this. Let me see which one would be the best. We're gonna use a bit of brown. I'm gonna use the dark umber for this. Also gonna use a bit of henna, just to see how it will turn out, like on the top here. And then we need to use our reds. The Crimson Lake, I'm using the Crimson Lake for this. You can use basically anything, it's important. Then this is like a bit darker side, and then we're gonna use the Scarlet Lake. So you can kind of blend the colors in between. I'm still thinking about her hair color though. If you have a suggestion still, like if you have some new suggestions, or there are some people that just joined live, this live, like feel free to let me know like what her hair color should be. I'm thinking about changing her hair color, so I was thinking like a lot of different things, but I'm not sure what her hair color should be. So if I have any suggestions, let me know in the comment section. Just blending it out with henna. I think we're gonna get a very nice drawing, I think. I don't want to jinx it. I will use a pumpkin orange for this. We also need some light ones and some orange, like I'm using the cadmium orange hue. Give it a purple mix. Pink and the hair part out of the comfort zone. Definitely, I was thinking about that. Like I was suggesting if I could go like with the blue, purple and pink. Like for example, to put a blue here, like with the green, and purple with the pink, or just combine everything. Like I really want to do something different. So I am thinking about that. Like I'm really want to make something different. And if there are people who are doing this or will do this with me, like even you getting out of the comfort zone, like I think it should be very nice. Just so you can see, like even if it doesn't turn out like the same, if we don't get the same results like there is on the reference photo, like it doesn't mean that it's bad. So I think that we should do some different hair color, a different hairstyle, something different. We fix this. to our something else finishing here and here. We're gonna do with this because it's darker here, like this part is darker, so we're gonna use the dark umber first for this, because this part of her face is darker, so we want to make it a bit darker. And we're gonna use the pumpkin orange on top of it, like over it. And so here as well. I'm gonna use the burnt ochre just to blend this in between. We're gonna also do the, can you make a live on skin tone with chief color? With chief colors, it means a lot to us. Yeah, I can do that actually. I just have to find some colors that are for the tutorial, but I think like I was speaking about those skin tutorials before, because it's like it doesn't matter if they're like cheap colored pencils or they're expensive colored pencils. Like the skin tone, it really depends like from face to face. So for example, for this tutorial now, I have no idea like which colored pencils I will be using. Like it depends from a reference to a reference, from face to face, from skin color to skin color. Like you never know what exactly you're gonna be using until you actually start working. So I'm never like hung up, like I was never hung up on the just a couple of colored pencils for each and every, like for each and every and different um, portrait and skin tone. I'm using different colors. So I don't know if, like, even if I do a tutorial, I don't believe if that would be like 100% accurate. Like it's always the best if you can just like sit and explore like what suits your style the best. Like for example, as I was saying, like I would want for this, maybe this portrait to be like everything, like her skin tone would be like in some bluish tones or something. So I would prefer doing that, maybe. So I think that it's the best if you can get like, that's the best thing, to get out of the comfort zone and try out different things and see, like experiment, like what suits you the best when it comes to your style and when it comes to your preferences, when it comes to your reference photos, your styles. Like they're like, we all have different styles, and maybe my colored pencil, like my choice of these colored pencil like won't suit your style or vice versa, like of course I can do that, but I wouldn't be holding on, like if I were you, I wouldn't be holding on 100% to the tutorials. I would just sit and explore like what suits my style the best. And I did. I think like I did that. I was doing that a lot. Like I was looking at the tutorials, but I was simply, I couldn't get my style along with these tutorials. Like I'm having a bit of a different style, so it was really hard to kind of combine the, I'm just using the same colors as I used for this. Like I'm using the purple and then the blue and then the green a bit here. I would just like to have, like as I'm having here, I would just like to have the same thing here. So I was watching like different tutorials and I couldn't find a proper one for me because my style is definitely different than like all those tutorials that I was watching, and I realized like there are no actual tutorials on how to draw a face and how to shade a portrait, because all portraits are different and all shades are different. So it's not possible to make an accurate tutorial on how to draw, because there are no, and that's the whole beauty of art in general, like there are no rules for that. Like I cannot just tell you use these 5 colored pencils for each and every face and your faces will look great. Doesn't have to mean that at all. Like I mean it's not even possible to get like just 5 colored pencils and get each and every face like accurate and the same. So my honest suggestion would be to actually explore as much as you can. Just explore and like be brave enough, because for that exploring, like you need to be brave and you need to like really believe in yourself that you can do it, and you actually can do it. Like we all can do it. Like lack of motivation and lack of believing in yourself can really get you down. So don't let that happen. Just like be brave and say to yourself that you can do it and you actually can, and just start exploring. Like maybe the first couple of, like my first couple of portraits were a complete disaster. Like I honestly at one point I really thought that I would just give up on drawing, but I really wanted to do this, to work with colored pencils. And eventually it all started getting into place. Like I don't even know how, but simply I kind of just relaxed and told myself like I can actually do this. And I just started doing this, and like each and every, like even now I'm not sure what pencils I will be using, but I know that I will experiment and that I will have fun. And even if this don't turn out the way how I want it, I still learned something. So I think that the whole journey is more important than the actual drawing. Okay, can't wait to see the final rendered image. I cannot wait to see as well. Like I really am excited to see it actually. Nicholas is saying that the eyes turned out more beautiful and alive than the original photo. Thank you so much, Nicholas. I really appreciate that. Like I really wanted to do something different and to make kind of a different image. And I think that I kind of made it. That's the whole point of drawing, like in general, like just to explore and try out different things and try out new things and see like if whether this suits you or not. You see, I even wanted to change her makeup a bit, so I put like the same colors here and the same color. Like she has that on the, but I put like here to be like more vibrant on both sides, because I think like when it comes to the makeup, especially when it comes to like Halloween makeup, like it needs to be very nice. You just blend this out with these colored pencils named Yellowed Orange. And I'll put this part too. And to put this a bit down as well. Put a bit of purple on the right side. Make a bit of blue here as well. I'll put a bit of burnt, this burnt ochre, a bit more here. I'll put a bit of red on top of this part. And now I'll combine it with the pumpkin orange. And then with yellowed orange, we will mix everything and blend everything out. I think that this looks like so far so good. We'll put a bit of white on each side here. And also put the white on these parts here. We can start working on her forehead. So for the forehead, let me just find the proper colors for this. I'm having a lot of colors here. And I also need my orange juice a bit. So we would need peach and light peach and a bit of terracotta and clay rose. We would need this beige sienna. I love this color. It's very good for those kind of like the darker parts. So I really like that. And we need a nectar. Where is the other one? And we will need some darker tones. We need the chestnuts as well. I like this color a lot. I just need to sharpen it. And we would use the chestnut first. So I'm gonna use the chestnut here. So don't press your pencils hard at this point. Like, it's very important that we are keeping our pencil pressures like very lightly. And we're gonna also put it here, because why not? It's good for the base. And we are experimenting, so it's fine. It's actually very good if you see this as a form of fun, and like, because like I remember when I was starting out, like with the drawing and everything, I was so stressed out. Like every time I would pick up the colored pencil, I was so stressed out. I didn't know what I was doing, and that was really stressing me out. So eventually I said to myself, like, okay, like even if this doesn't turn out the way how I wanted, like it's fine. And once I told that to myself, like, of course, after maybe 20 of or something like that, of tryings like with the colored pencils, because this is not popular in my country at all. Like using these colored pencils is not popular. Like I don't know much people, like I don't know many people who are actually using these kinds of colored pencils. Like they're all like still artists who likes to use like the watercolor and the acrylics and something like that, but not a lot of people are actually using these colors. So I saw it and I really wanted to do it because I really liked it. And I kind of connect. I'm using the dark umber for this, like I'm making this part like really dark. I was kind of connected to the colored pencils because like I love the I don't know how to explain that. I love the intensity of the colors, I don't know, I just felt connected to it. And then I decided to get them, and I was so bad. I didn't know I didn't know what I was doing for quite some time. But then after, like when I told myself, like, okay, you need to stop stressing out because it's gonna like drive you insane, and you just need to start enjoying like what you're doing. And I did, and eventually it led me to here. So don't stress out while using your colored pencils. Like it shouldn't be stressed out. Like even if you are a beginner, like don't stress out. Just enjoy the process. Like we are experimenting even now, and it's good. So I will use the burnt ochre for this part. And still we're not pressing our pencils hard. I was thinking about that like 10 minutes ago. Like it's really good that this reference photo, that it doesn't have like the ears are not seen. Like I don't know why, but like every time I'm drawing a portrait, I leave the ears for the last. Like I do everything. I do the hair, I do the like, but the ears, I'm kind of avoiding it like like until the last moment. I don't know why. Like I call it like the Van Gogh syndrome. Like I just don't. I don't know. I just don't like working on the ears as much as I like working on the other parts of the face. And then I just leave the ears for the last. And I was thinking like, okay, it's really good that like, because you need to have an order. And then like my drawing looks really strange, like just the ears, like they're blank and everything else is colored. So it's weird a bit. So it's good that like this reference photo, they like it doesn't have like the ears are not seen here. I'm using the nectar for this part, just using it a bit. We need to have a bit warmer tone for this part. We're gonna also use a bit of where's that color? Not terracotta, but not the Crimson Lake, the Tuscan Red. We're just gonna use a bit of this Tuscan Red here. and the nectar. So as you can see, like as for the face, like for some faces, I would never use these colors combined with these colors. Like it basically, it all depends on like on the reference, like which part, like what reference do you have, and also like this pumpkin orange, for example, I would never use for some drawings. So it all depends from the reference, from the lighting, from the position, like where the lights are standing and all the rest. Like it depends on so many factors. I need the dark brown. I'm just gonna make this part darker. You know, when you're drawing and you're like all into the drawing, and then you forget that you're making like funny faces and stuff. So that's really if I'm making a funny face, I apologize. Like there's sometimes that I look really like upset and angry, like I'm just trying to get like what I'm doing. There was sometimes like my mother, she was telling me like, why are you angry, like why are you drawing? And I was like, I'm not angry, I'm just trying to see like what I'm doing. She said, but you look angry. I was like, I'm not angry, I'm just like really trying to see like what I'm doing. And like sometimes, like most of the times, I'm not even aware of the fact that I'm making these like funny faces. It's turning out so good. It looks amazing already. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Thanks a lot. I'm very happy that you guys are like thinking that this is turning out great. I'm really happy for it. And it's really important for me that this turns out great, that like this turns out like quite satisfying. Since this is my first live, and I truly hope that there will be like many more of them. But for this live, I'm more than happy how everything turned out, like even the picture quality and everything else, like it's all very nice. I'm using the terracotta for this part here. I'm slowly going over like where these eyebrows are going. I'm gonna use the burnt ochre. There's something moving on my desk, I'm not sure what. I'm gonna also put it a bit here. I'm gonna blend that out. Just gonna press it a bit harder this time. I'll do this transition a bit with this beige sienna. I just love how this color is turning out, like in the mixture of everything. The eyes look stunningly real. Thank you so much. It took me some time to actually focus to the comment. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. I'm very happy that you guys are liking this. So I'm switching back to the burnt ochre. Just gonna use that as an undertone of these parts here. There's a very light part for that. I like to have those kind of undertones, like if I'm using these colors, like even though this is gonna be the light part, I always kind of have these undertones a bit before I start working with the light. I don't know why, but it kind of keeps the color a bit better, at least for me. I'm not sure how it is like with you, but like for me, I kind of like that. Like even this is barely seen, I kind of prefer having that. Great choice of paper color too. Yeah, I really like this one. Like Strathmore Tone Tennis is definitely amazing, and I really like this one. I really like this paper. It's definitely one of my like most favorite colored colored papers of all time. Let me see where this is the beige. Yes. So we're gonna use the beige. So we'll see, like even you can see how this color is very similar to the actual paper. So if I was about to use like this beige on a white paper, I would definitely get a different tone. But here you cannot, like you barely see this color, like even though like I can see it, but barely. This tone is good for the base, and it's very good for like working with this color on the, I'm just using it as a base. I'm using it like to just to get the base color here. Even though it's not seen, like I'm using it so I can get like this, when you're combining this color with another one, like you're getting a different result. Like even this is not seen like at the moment, but they're very like different. If you're about to use, I'm using the peach. If you're about to use that one, that color on a different kind of paper, like you would get a complete different result. That's why I'm telling, like it really depends on so many factors, like to get a good face skin tone, because it depends on the colors that you're using, it depends on the skin tone, it depends on the actual paper that you're using. Like if you're using some different colored paper, like my drawing can turn out completely different than yours. So there are so many factors to like consider before you start learning how to draw the actual skin tone. Just gonna combine these colors now in between as much as I possibly can. Just see this part. We're also gonna be putting this peach underneath here. Just gonna combine it. And also here. Here in this part, like it's gonna be very dark, but still I will be using this peach as our the base tone for this part. Something like that, and you can see this is like a very, very light. It's like so light. Let me see. So we can go again. I just need to sharpen some of the colored pencils because it's really important. It's really important to have all your colored pencils sharpened before. Let me see what I wanted to sharpen. Like, it's fine. I'm just seeing how it's looking like on the actual video. So I'm using the pumpkin orange. And I kind of like this tone, like I kind of like the intensity of this tone, like it kind of brings that warmth into the actual drawing, which is really nice. Like I really prefer that. I really like that. Also, we can use a bit of sienna brown. This is this color. Just gonna be using it a bit. Trying to blend a bit the colors, and I also will be using the Tuscan red a bit here, which we're gonna like blend out later, but I think that this color is like it's going very nicely with the rest of the colors as well, especially if we're like gonna make a very light tone here. You can see how slowly this is like it's moving towards the actual skin tone. As you can see, like I'm using a lot of colors and I'm experimenting with the colors as well because I'm really trying to get the best possible color for the face. I'm gonna use the light peach for some parts, like we're gonna make these lighter parts, like we're gonna put the light peach wherever you see that there's like lighter tones. Also here as well. We just want to limit this part where we think that the parts are lighter, as you can see. So now we have it nicely like that. We're gonna use pumpkin orange onto these parts again, like that. I'm gonna use the burnt ochre. I'm gonna try and blend out these parts. Just gonna mix them in between and gonna get that nicer look. I'm gonna use the beige sienna. Just gonna blend these parts out like that. I'm gonna use the nectar on top of it. Nectar is a quite peachy tone. I kind of prefer it. I like it. I'm gonna use the light peach so we can blend it out a bit. And get the colors. Get the base of the color right. Something like that. Okay. Back to our, what I wanted to get. Let me see, we're gonna work a bit with salmon pink. This, or Spanish orange. Spanish orange is a bit orangey color, but salmon pink is a bit of something in between orange and like pink. It's really nice. And I have my color chart right next to me because, as I already said, like it's really hard for me to make a decision like what actual color pencils I really want to use, since I have so many, and shouldn't be a nice thing for me. I really wanted to get a lot of them, as I already said. Like I really wanted to get a lot of colored pencils, but like there's so hard now for me to make a decision what actual color pencil I want to use, and like that's a really like a big problem for me. Like I'm always deciding like maybe I want this, maybe I want that one, maybe I made a mistake choosing this one, and then like I always get into that bad overthinking stage, like what should I use? So it's not a good thing. Like sometimes it's good that you're just like limited with the amount of colored pencils that you're using. I'm using this pumpkin orange for this part. Sometimes it's really better to be limited with the amount of colors that you have. Especially if you cannot decide anything on a daily basis like I do. Like if I was about to go to a coffee shop and they would about to ask me like, okay, do you want this or that, I would know what to tell them. Like I always take maybe 5 to 10 minutes to actually decide what I actually want, and then I decide, and then I think to myself like, maybe if I was about to choose something else, like maybe that is something that I prefer, but I always get lost in that. I'm using the salmon pink to go like all over this. Even those like highlighted parts. I'm pressing the salmon pink a bit more, so I can try and blend these first couple of layers, but I also want to combine it with the burnt ochre. So I'm using the burnt ochre to try and combine and press a bit harder all these parts. And you can see how slowly we're starting to get like the look of the skin tone. Just like going back and forth with the colored pencils and just like exploring the options. Like I didn't know what I would use for this, but still I'm getting some nice results. Like I'm getting good results and I'm very satisfied. I'm using the black to kind of make these parts a bit darker, and I will also use a bit of a dark brown. This. I'll use the burnt ochre. And we'll press it a bit harder this time, like these parts here. Just to make it like a bit darker. And then we can use a bit of peach. Just kind of blend things in between a bit. I like how this is turning out. I don't know about you, but I really do like how this is turning out. I'll put a bit of a layer with the beige sienna here. Like I'm not pressing it hard, but I'm still like layering a bit of a darker part. Not sure how long this live is lasting. It's lasting like 2 hours. Oh my god, that's very, very nice. 2 hours. I still have the feeling that I'm working just like maybe 45 minutes on this. It's not like for me the time has passed like The time has passed like very, very fast. I'm using the burnt ochre again to have this like layer on top of it. So as you can see, like the colored pencils, like they are time consuming, but at the same time they're so relaxing and such a powerful medium. Like when somebody is looking at my photos, like they want me to show him, like to show them my work, and they're looking at my drawings and they were like, wow, like what are these are made of? And I'm like, with colored pencils. And they're like, really? Like, what do you mean with colored pencils? Like, how can you make something like this with colored pencils? Like, and they're always like, they have a lot of questions because like the colored pencils for them are like the ones that we were using in primary school, like when we were learning how to draw, like in primary school. So for them it's like it's not possible for something like this to be drawn like with just colored pencils. This is a very powerful medium. Like I love this. Like I fell in love with these colored pencils like a couple of years ago, and I cannot imagine my style. Like I think I would have a style, of course, but I cannot imagine, like now I cannot imagine my style without them. Seriously, I cannot. And alright, this looks very nice. I'm gonna use a bit of burnt ochre on this part here. And a bit of beige sienna here. Now I will use the peach for this part. And then we'll also use again a bit of pumpkin orange on top of it. I use a bit of pumpkin orange here. My voice got cleared up. I cannot believe it. I think that this live has cured me. All of a sudden I felt better and inspired, and I wanted to draw, and I was so happy, and I think that I cured myself with this live. I'll use the peach on top of this to make it like a bit, to get a bit of a warmer tone even here. It is looking quite nicely here and here. And we will use a bit of a, where is it? This is like the pencil blender. So we can use a bit of a pencil blender just to blend out some certain parts, like, and to make them like even smoother. Hi, I am very nice. I'm very good and I'm very excited. Like, still I'm excited for this live. I am very well. How are you? And I'm very happy that you are here as well. Very happy that you can make it. At least for a bit of a chat. So I'm just trying to kind of blend the colors in between with this blender. I'm good too. I'm very happy to hear that you're good. We're all good regarding this a bit of a crazy times here. With this blender, I will just try and blend a couple of things. I wanted to do this with the baby oil, but there's a bigger chance that you have these pencil blenders than the baby oil or the zested pencil blend, because for like at the moment I don't have zested pencil blend with me, unfortunately, and that's driving me insane. I really miss that. I'm really missing the zested pencil blend, and it's impossible to get it in Serbia, like here where I live at the moment, so I'm trying to figure out a way of getting me a zested pencil blend. So I have a couple of options and I will see like what I will be able to do about it, but we'll see. For now I'm good with the baby oil as well. Like the baby oil is a good it's a good option if you don't have zested pencil blend. Like it works basically in the same way, so it's a very nice thing. It works basically the same, but zested pencil blend is like, even though I'm really bothered by the actual smell, like the zested pencil blend has such a specific like smell, and like sometimes I'm really bothered by it. But the colors you're getting like with that zested pencil blend, like it's simply amazing, honestly. The burnt ochre. You can work on some more colors with this. Like over it. Even here I think that it's a bit darker. It's a bit darker here as well, so we're just gonna make it a bit darker. I'll put a bit of white onto this part here. And here. And then we'll go over, where's the peach? Go over with the peach. Okay. I think that this looks nice so far. I'm taking the light peach, kind of fill in these parts. And then we will take a bit of a beige sienna. Just to fill that in. And we're gonna take our peach. I'm gonna kind of cover everything here with this peachy color. I think this looks very nice so far. I think it looks proper. And we can have a bit of break from the forehead and focus a bit on these eyebrows. First we're gonna make a layer, a very light layer with this peachy tone here and as well as here, because the undertone is like actually you can see that her eyebrows are a bit thinner in the ends. We're gonna make it look a bit more believable. I'm gonna use the light peach as well. I'm gonna use a bit of the beige sienna. try that for the start. Also here a bit. And she has a specific eyebrows, like her eyebrows are flawless. So I'm not sure if we'll be able to get that flawless eyebrows, but we're gonna try. This part is very dark, and this part, at least we can try to get that. And the eyebrows we're gonna do, like if you have like the zested pencil blend or you have the baby oil, like it's the best that we do the eyebrows. I was thinking about that, and like I think that it's the best if we do the eyebrows with the zested or with the, in this case I'm having the baby oil, so I will do that with the baby oil. Just start going in all kinds of directions, because you can see that her eyebrows are going like on the top here, like they're connected. And also here. And you can put it down because these parts are gonna be darker. You can have like a bit of a stronger pressure with this. And just connect them. I try to go in all kinds of directions and then connect these parts. And also have control over like which parts are you pressing lighter and which parts you're pressing like a bit darker and a bit harder. Like that's also very important to have this control over the pencil pressure. I'm just gonna use black for the basic, like the basic tones of her eyebrows. I'm gonna do that like from all sides, like even here I'm gonna press it a bit harder. The first live and artwork are on pro level. Well done, I must go now. Best regards, with big respect, and have a wonderful time. I enjoy watching it. Stay positive and creative. Thank you, Nicholas, so much. And I'm very happy that I have you here, like that I had you here in live. And thank you so much for your kind words. Like it really means a lot to me. And I truly hope that you will have some great day or a great evening ahead of you, and I hope I see you in another live. I'm done. I finished the painting. Looks better than yours. Kidding, of course. My daughter is better than me. Of course your daughter is better than you. This is my brother-in-law. And I am like working with my niece, like she's 5, and if you are following me on Instagram, like sometimes I post some stories like with me and her drawing and everything, because she wants to be like her aunt and she is drawing. And yeah, definitely, like she is better than you. And I'm trying to teach her some things, like, and she's a great student, like and she is talented a lot. Well, she's my niece. Like this is a proud aunt moment. I apologize if I'm sounding like if I sound full of myself and everything, but like this is a proud aunt moment. Like she is like her aunt, and I like saying that a lot. Like I like saying that she is like me. just like even a couple of those very light parts, and so now I think that she has a bigger part here, a bit, also this part. And now, see if I can get this right, like a bit up. Just a bit. And this is again as well like a bit of up. This part is very dark, so we're gonna use a bit of baby oil. Just gonna use it on just the part so I can blend this out like more nicely. So make sure to get for this like either a baby oil or zested pencil blend. And also to make it here. I think this looks better with this baby oil. And as well as here. Just gonna try to connect the eyebrows with the rest of the face. And we can wait for that to, like you have to wait for that to get dry. I just wanted to fix some things, and I think that we are done with this live for today. I will schedule another one in 2 days. I mean, I will schedule tomorrow, but it will be in 2 days. And thank you guys so much for following this live. I truly hope that you enjoyed it. As you can see, like for this it takes quite some time, and I truly hope that in the next live we will be able to work on these parts, and that it will take us like a bit like a bit similar, like a similar time to finish. this part, and then on the third live we will do the hair. And for the hair it won't take us that much time, and it was really important for us to get the eyes looking well and the eyebrows and the skin tone, and we're going to work on these parts of the skin tone on our next live. And thank you so much for watching, thank you so much for being here with me, and I see you all guys in my next live. And I think that would be all for now. Let me just see how I can stop this live, since this is the first time I'm doing this. But thank you so much again, guys. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next one. Bye.